Hey guys, it's Chuck's Deluxe Crypto coming back at you with another video. Somebody made a comment on one of my YouTube shorts and said you couldn't see my ears, and I never noticed it until now. I promise you I got ears, guys. They're right here. But maybe they're all the way on the back of my head because I can't hear what you haters are saying. You feel me? All right, I'm done being silly. All right, so have you ever heard the Dave Ramsey quote, live like no one else so you can live like no one else? Why is that imperative and why is that important to today's message of being an XRP millionaire? Well, it's imperative because live like no one else so you can live like no one else means if you do the things that others do, then you're going to be like other people. You should know by now that money issues aren't a problem with the amount of money you have coming in, but a behavioral issue. Somebody that makes $250,000 a year could still face financial hardship versus somebody that makes, $50,000 a year. That person that makes $50,000 a year could just be better with their finances and be a better steward of their money. Live like no one else so you can live like no one else. Case study, enter Dan Conway. So Dan Conway was a typical American, living the American dream, nice job, wife, kids. He had heard about Ethereum and had a hunch. So one day, Dan hit up his wife. He proceeds to tell her that he's going to take their life savings out of their account, which is around $100,000, and spend it on Ethereum. Well, as you can imagine, his wife will probably be a bit hesitant, but she agreed to have their life savings drained into Ethereum if he promised to take them on vacations and do other family-oriented things, essentially, buy back his time. So Dan emptied out his savings account, purchased ETH based off of a hunch and some tech background that he had, and he had faith that Ethereum would do well. So he purchases Ethereum in May of 2016 around the price of, I would say, somewhere between $10 to $12. Going into June, that price made a upward movement. He made a good amount of money on his investment. As the months went on, Dan found himself down by about 60%. But Dan, as many holders, he doubled down. So what he did was, which is crazy, especially at the time, it appears he took out a home equity line of credit or a HELOC, and he took the equity out of his home and invested an additional $200,000. So Dan, he went all in. I like Dan. So Dan takes that money, and fast forward into 2017, Dan bought his Ethereum about the purchase price, I would say somewhere between $8 and $12. Fast forward in 2017, Dan lets go of his Ethereum around $900. So he takes his initial savings account from $100,000 all the way to $10 million. Obviously, this story is atypical, but I think it's actually more typical than what most people would think, especially in the cryptocurrency space. It is not very hard to take a amount of money and grow that by 100 times in a very short period of time, as I showed you in my previous video. There's many stories of people in history betting on themselves. Take, for instance, Elon Musk. It was said that Elon Musk, when he launched SpaceX and he was going through his Tesla dealings, and as well as, I believe, PayPal, he had to borrow money in order to make ends meet. This is one of the most bright minds that we have in modern day, no matter how you feel about him. But look where he is today. He's essentially King Midas. Like, he makes a couple of strokes on a keyboard and he makes people's portfolio swing, up, down, left, right. Essentially bringing him up, Dan Conway and Elon Musk bet on themselves. So I ask you, are you going to bet on yourself? Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to go drain your savings account or your checking account. I'm essentially bringing up this story to give those of you who think that you're too late some courage, or some to encourage you that it isn't too late. You may feel like you've missed this cycle, but I don't think that you have. You're not too late. Enter 2008. We had the great financial crash of 2008, and there was a lot of people who lost, they were in financial ruin after 2008. But I don't think we talk very much about those who had nothing prior to 2008. 2008 essentially was a reset for those who weren't in the market, and it allowed a lot of people to enter into the market at that time. You got to look at things from multiple perspectives, not just a negative perspective or just a positive perspective. So I know a lot of people think, hey, crypto winter is coming. The price of Bitcoin, we expect it to go down, and then go up and then plummet to the ground. Okay, that's fine. But what do you do in those times? You essentially have a game plan that allows you to have the fortitude, to have patience. And what that patience will happen, you will be rewarded handsomely if you can hold, because typically the crypto market goes down by 80 to 90% in the bear market. The bear market lasts years. So you essentially have years to develop a game plan, to dollar cost average, to get your capital together, to get ready for the next cryptocurrency bull run, should history repeat itself. And I'm not saying that it will, but a lot of times it often rhymes. You may not realize it, but we had a Dan Conway type moment happen in 2020. The price of XRP hit 11 cents. I don't know a lot of people who went all in, but I'm sure there's some of you guys that are watching this right now that just cracked a big smile on your face because you went all in. You bet on yourself, and you have already been rewarded. You're up like 8 times on your investment if you were able to catch the bottom. And that is crazy. There's not many places where you can make that amount of money in, 2-year period of time. So I leave you with this. Are you going to bet on yourself? Are you going to bet on XRP when this case is over? Is yet to be determined how it's going to turn out. But as I said before, things are looking real juicy. I'm going to leave a link down below in my description of the Medium story of this Dan Conway, so you can see for yourself and read it for yourself, and to give you something to think about. Up close time. Remember, a wage is something they give you to give up on your dreams. At 17 years old, they tell you to take out a loan for college, get in a student loan debt, go to college for 4 years, get good grades so you can get a good job. You work that job until you're 60-something years old, and then you get to live, until your 70s is the average life expectancy. Don't spend all your time working on somebody else's dream. Take the time out of your day, develop a game plan, execute, and work on your own dream. Ask yourself, have you done enough to make yourself a crypto millionaire, an XRP millionaire by the time this market is over? Let's go.